and welcome. My name is Draycass and I am with Epic Geeks, and today I am bringing you my review of The Elder Scrolls Online. Now, those of you that listen to the podcast will know that I have been very positive about this game so far. I played through the beta. I liked it so much that I decided to go and buy the Imperial Edition, the Collector's Edition, which is obviously uber expensive. Those of you that have looked at the price and will know this. Now, have my views changed since I've been playing it over the last few weeks? Yes, they have, quite dramatically in fact. But I'm going to do a general review for you. I'm going to give you the positives and the negatives of the game so you can make up your own mind, show you a bit of the gameplay, and I'm going to start off by looking at the character creation stage. One of the positives about this game, I would say, is how heavily you can personalise your character. There is a lot of customisation here, which people will like. And I'm going to start off, you get to pick obviously whether you're male or female, that's an obvious one. And you get to pick from one of the three alliances. You can either be in the Dragonfall Covenant, the Eldemir Dominion, or the Ebonheart Pact. Now, one negative I would say from the character creation stage is that it doesn't really tell you much about the alliances on the character creation stage. So without you having to go up online and look up what it means to be in each alliance, then you're not really going to know much about them. It tells you about the race that you pick. It comes up with a little information down here on each race, and their strengths and weaknesses, etc. But it doesn't do the same for the alliances, so you have to just kind of guess. But within each alliance, you can pick one of three races. If you go for the Imperial, if like me you've paid the extra for the Imperial Edition, then you can be any race you like, regardless of what alliance you are in, which, to be honest, makes a bit of farce of having the alliances in the first place. If you pay the extra, you can be in any of them, regardless of their likes and dislikes of each other. But anyway, that's a decision they've made. It's up to them. Apart from the races, you can also go into the classes. Now, you may think I'm skipping over this a bit. I'm not going to go heavily into each race and their details, etc. If you want to play the game, that's entirely up to you. I know there are other videos out there which go into the customization a bit more and the sort of pros and cons of each race, but I'm not doing this for the purposes of the review. This is more of a gameplay review, so I'm just going to kind of skip over these a little bit. But you can also then pick your race, your class, and these classes are similar to what you'd have in other MMOs. You've got the Dragon Knight, which are more or less your warrior, very skillful in masters at arms, martial arts, battle spirit, etc, etc. The sort of physical prowess. You've got your sorcerer, which is more of your mage class. You've got your Nightblade, which is a rogue type, and your Templar, which is similar to a paladin. Now, don't let these classes fool you though, although they don't necessarily slot into those categories. Although they're based around those usual MMO categories, you can, as I said, heavily customise your character. You can be, if you like, a warrior that uses magic. You can be a sorcerer that uses a two-handed sword. You can be a Nightblade rogue type that uses a bow. You can be whatever you want in this game. There is no restriction on how you play your character. It's just that certain classes obviously have better facilities in each area. But there is no restriction. As I said, if you want to put your points in one particular playstyle, then you can do whatever you like. There is no restrictions. In terms of what your character looks like, again, you can heavily customise it. You can change how muscly they are, how big, how fat they are, their height, their body markings. They can have tattoos, moles, scars, whatever you like. You can change upper body, torso, chill. You can see, look what you can change. Absolutely everything. If you're not that bothered, you can just randomise it. Go for what you like. So there is a lot of detail that you can go into here, including on the face. You can change the shape of the face. You can change the voice, their hairstyle, hair colour, age them as much as you like, head markings, etc. So you can spend a lot of time making your character look exactly how you want it to look. So we're going to move on now to the gameplay, and I'm going to go and start off with one of my characters that I've started. Now I'm not going to go through the beginning. I'll explain. When you first play the game, you go through a kind of tutorial which takes you up to about level 3. Which just sort of brings you into the story, shows you how to play your character, things like that. If you then create an alt, you have the choice of whether you're going to go through that starting zone again, or whether you're going to jump straight to level 3 and start playing. Which again can be a positive. You haven't got to waste those first 3 levels again with each character going through the same tutorial. So we're just going to jump straight in. I'm going to go in with one of my characters. So I am going to be showing you my Imperial Templar. Because I like the kind of paladin-y type classes. I like to have a little bit of healing, etc. I know you can do it if you like, but I like to stick with the usual classes. I'm a bit boring like that. So I've got my Imperial Templar. Now I'm going to start off by talking about the kind of good points, and then go into the general bad points and the gameplay, but some of them might kind of mix and match. So just going to start off, you can probably hear that the soundtrack is beautiful in this game. That is one thing that they have got spot on. The soundtrack, the music that runs along with it, and the voice acting that goes with the quest is very, very nice indeed. So we're going to go out into the open world. Now, if you don't know the background to Elder Scrolls Online, the game is set 1,000 years before the events of Skyrim, and it's based around a Daedric prince called Malak Baal, who is invading Tamriel and merging his realm of oblivion into ours. And it is up to you, the players, or me, because you guys might not be playing it yet, to stop his evil plans. So that is the kind of basis of the story that you're playing in. I'd like to think it's very peaceful here. The sun's out. As I said, not a lot of dirt around. Even if you go and look here where the chickens are, look. It's very clean for a chicken pen. And they'd probably get out of there, to be completely honest with you. But the questing experience, when I was playing the beta, I thought, this is really nice. I enjoyed it. I was playing along. And then I kind of got into the game for real. And it didn't quite seem right. I don't know why. I was kind of expecting there to be more when I got into the main game, and I was a little bit disappointed. Now, the world itself is very vast. There is an awful lot to explore, but you have your general quest lines that kind of keep you out of the sandbox a little bit. And I'll go a little bit more about the whole questing experience, questing with people and maps, etc, etc, but just to kind of keep it basic. Oh, there's a glitch. See that? That's one of the problems. There are a few glitches in this game still. What I felt when it came out of beta and we got in the early access and then it came out to launch, it still felt like it was in beta. Even now, it feels like this game is in beta. There are still a lot of glitches. It just doesn't quite feel right. And my main problem with it is that I haven't really felt immersed enough in this game. It just kind of feels like it's not as good as Skyrim. I'll be completely honest. It's an alright standalone game, but for the amount of money they're expecting you to invest in this game, it just doesn't quite feel good enough. It's almost like they haven't put all the effort into it. Now I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, because I did say I was going to start off with the positives, but I'm kind of being a little bit negative. This is my horse that I got with the Imperial Edition. Which has meant I've been able to kind of get around a little bit quicker. If you haven't paid the extra, it's probably going to take you a lot longer to go between quests and things like that, which might be a problem. Now, one of the good things about it, though, this is the map. It can go out a lot further. This is the main map of the area that we're in at the moment in Daggerfall. And there are little waypoints. You'll see here Daggerfall, Wayshrine, and there's one over there, and you can click to record all of them, so you haven't got like one specific place that you have to. If you've been there before and you've opened up the Wayshrine, you can click there and get there quickly, which is a nice little feature, especially if you haven't got a horse. It's going to take you a little bit longer to get from place to place. But from here you can see obviously where your marketplaces are, the Mages Guild, all the things you're basically going to need in your MMO experience. And also these are little like where little world bosses are that you can go and fight as you go along. And I'm just going to say I don't have any quests here at the moment. I think I got to the end of the quest. I've got no idea where I'm meant to go now, which is a problem because it doesn't really tell me. If I come out of the map, up on the top you will see that there is a sort of compass, and that will point you in the way of the quest. Where you get that little sort of V shape there, that will tell you there's a quest over that way somewhere. So we'll go along. I might speed up this video or cut a bit out until we get there, just for the purpose of editing. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the quest system now quickly. This is a quest that I'm on currently. It's one of the lower level quests, around level 8 or so, with this character. We're going to talk to Iris Eilina, and you will see another positive of the game is the voice acting. It really is very nice, and it's a nice change that a lot of MMOs are doing now. I'm fed up of having to read through quests. It's quite nice to have someone talk to me, and it kind of makes you feel, it makes it a little bit more realistic, if a game can be realistic. The only thing is, I do find myself quite often, especially when you're leveling, you're trying to get through things quickly, I do just kind of skip it quite a lot. So it's probably not a lot different to me skipping text, to be completely honest with you. But it is quite nice, if you are into the lore and that kind of thing, it's nice to listen to different characters telling their story and telling you what to do. So we're going to take a listen to this quest now. You'll press E to talk to her.
We're dealing with serious matters here.
Ooh, okay.
The Guardians are in desperate need of our aid, and any interruption can have dire consequences.
Alright, good enough. I need to see if we can help.
Oh, my apologies. You must be the
So
stranger
too.
who helped my sisters at Dellen's Mill. I'm honored to meet you.
Honoured to meet you too. Well, I was, until you were rude to me.
I can't talk long. As you know, things are not well in our woods. The Guardians have gone silent, and this corruption spreads.
Who are the Guardians?
They're elemental spirits. They used to guide us, but now, nothing. And just when we need them the most.
Oh,
There's
it's
an old
terrible.
right to contact them that might work, but it's too dangerous for me or my sisters to perform.
Oh, here we go. Perhaps I can perform the rite, because I'm much more special than you are.
I don't know. You're not one of us.
No, I'm not.
We have to try something, I suppose.
Yep.
See the lurchers out there. Gather their limbs. That's
nope,
the
I
dangerous
can't move.
part. Then burn the limbs.
Oh,
at the altar
yay!
atop the nearby ruins.
An MMO
If it
kill
works,
things and
the
gather
Guardians should
quest.
appear.
That's original. Okay,
If you're able
I'll
to
do
speak
it.
to the elemental spirit, find me at the Vale of the Guardians. It's north of this
So
location. I'll
I
wait
could
for you
ask for
there.
more details.
Please hurry. We need
But
wisdom.
I'm not really that bothered. So you've got the quest, and then at the top, you see on the right hand side there's a T, and you can basically toggle through the quests that you're on at the moment. So I'm on that one, collects lurcher arms, and then it tells you on the top when I zoom round. It should, oh no, it's just around here. So it's highlighted kind of green. The compass itself is green, which tells me I'm in the correct area. So if I open up the map, you'll see there's a big bubble here. Anywhere in this area, I will find the things I need to kill. So I don't really know if I can just show you. It's just a general kind of MMO go around and kill things. It's these things, they're already dead. That guy's killed them already. Oh, there's one over there. Let's go and let's get my horse. Let's go and find a couple of these. We shall do the quest. These are all dead, look. All dead. Oh, there's one. There's one. Come back. Come back, Mr. Lurcher. Come back. I need to kill you. Okay, so here's a combat system. You'll see that there's a little crosshair in the middle. It's completely different. This is another positive of the game, is the combat system itself. It is probably the best combat system I've seen in if I can speak, in an MMO I have seen for a very long time. This person's probably going to go and kill her before. Oh no, he's coming to me. You'll see there are little lines around the character, and when they show, you see that one there, you're able to interrupt or block. If they're red lines, then you can interrupt it by pressing the two mouse buttons, and if it's a white line, then that's something that you can block to stop yourself from taking damage. And when I say it's one of the best combat experiences I've had in MMO, it's because it's so free, because you use the cursor in the middle, rather than having to tab through characters that you're aiming for and targeting. You can just literally point your mouse at them and you'll start attacking. That glows red when I pointed it. I'm going to start attacking that one. If I then move over, there was another one around here. But you can get the idea. If there was another one there, I'd be pointing at it, then that's the one I'd be attacking. So it's very easy to switch between targets. Quite good when when you're one or two mobs about, and it'd be interesting to see what it's like at endgame in raiding, etc. So I'm hoping now that no one's going to come and help me kill this, or no, okay, she's going to do it. I'm not going to. Let's just watch this one. So you can see she's just using her lightning there. A little bit magey. She's got a... See, that is an AoE. You get something red on the floor. She's not doing a particularly good job of it. But you move out of it. Move out of the poo, people. It's quite simple. You get those circular AoEs. You also get cone effects at the front. But the combat system itself feels very, very free. You can move around much easier if you actually do it properly. Oh, here we go. Look, someone's attacking me. So, I've got my little spear. I've got a knockback. That's always cool. I've got my distance spells. And you've got your melee combat. Someone's come and help me, that's very nice of him. Now, one thing you'll see in this MMO, which is something I'll talk about later, is if someone else, he's just tagged, he's now got a chance of getting experience and loot from that mob. So it's very worth you stopping and helping out other people. But that has also got a negative side effect, which I will talk about earlier. I want to see if I can find another one, just so I can kind of show you the interrupt system. Oh, this one here, look. I can... Right, and if you get the interrupt right, then you daze them, as you saw there. There's a little daze. You have to go back and... Because they're quite low level, they die quite quickly. You might want to go back and rewind that if you want to see that again. But if you get the daze or the interrupt correct, then they get dazed, which you can then exploit, and you can kill things much quicker and take less damage, which is obviously what you should be doing rather than just standing there smacking people and taking a lot of damage. So if I see if I can find something else, I might again, I'll fast forward or switch quickly so that you're not sitting through me just literally running around looking for something to kill. I'm going to try not to use my spells. You've seen my long distance ones. I can do... So I can block, and he's dazed because I've blocked him. So I can exploit while he's dazed. And this one I can interrupt, which I did there, and again he's dazed. So if they've got the red lines coming out of them, you can interrupt them. And if they've got the white lines coming out of them, you can block them. And if you do it right, you time it perfectly, they will get dazed, spot on, perfect. Makes it much more fun. You're not just standing there tanking and spanking and pew-pewing. You are actually having to think a little bit and do stuff. You can just stand there if you want to and just like pew-pew, but it's much more fun if you actually get involved with the combat system. And as I said, later on in the game, I'd imagine it is going to be amazing. So we'll see how that goes. I need one more of these. Smack. Then we're going to go back and complete the quest. No way. So just follow my little compass. Dum dum dum. Oh, actually, you know what? Well, I've got to go and summon something, haven't I? Where am I summoning it? Over there? Oh, I've got to go over there, look, up here. Guess it was going to be in here, isn't it? This looks like somewhere I should be summoning something. Bum bum bum. Summon an elemental guardian. So here we go. Use.
Seid gegrüßt, Kind.
Hi.
Wir haben schon darauf gewartet, dass uns jemand ruft.
I need to talk to you.
Angov, der Grabessänger, hat uns gefangen genommen. Jetzt sind wir vom Wirt abgeschnitten.
What?
Ihr wisst,
Sorry,
die
I don't know
Wächterinnen
what a
befreien.
word you're saying. How do I set you
Haben
free?
die Sterblichen so rasch die alten Sitten vergessen? Ganz sicher erinnern sich die Würdinnen noch an die Menhire.
Will destroying the corruption set you free?
Nein, aber diese Läuterung sollte Angovs Griff lockern. Erzählt Würdin Iliana von der Verderbnis.
I don't know if I don't. See, this is when I start losing interest. I just click through them. That's fine. Goodbye. So I need to go and do other stuff. That is the quest system. So let's move on to my next point. That I haven't really got many other positives, if I'm honest. You've got the questing, it's a little bit dull, but the voice acting's great. The combat system, as I said, is very good. The character personalisation is good. The soundtrack's good. It looks pretty. It's beautifully voice acted. But then there are some negatives. There are many negatives. And when I was writing down the fors and the against for my review, the bad points are very long. And you may have noticed there were a few people, even not lots. There are a few people running about here, and I haven't interacted with any of them. And to be completely honest with you, that is the one thing that this MMO lacks. It doesn't feel like an MMO. There are people running about, yeah, sure, but to actually interact with them is not easy. It is not easy. Yeah, you can see on the left hand side you've got the little people talking in the chat like you always get. But grouping is not easy. I mean, these are working together, that's fine, but I'd have to run after them. I could probably speak in the chat, but you have to kind of, oh, that's cool, look at him. You have to kind of press F to interact. If I can even, no, see, okay, hang on, hold up, wait for me, come back, look, hold up. You have to kind of press F, then it gives you these little options, and hopefully it will stay when they go, report player, add as a friend, invite to group, send whisper, da. Okay, that's quite simple, but it's not. You group, right, firstly, there's 2 points with this game. The first one is, if you tag a mob, and say you're questing, and there's one particular mob that you all have to kill in that quest. Now, one of the positive things is that if there are other people about, they don't have to be grouped up with you. If they tag that mob, they will get the kill, the experience, and a chance of loot as well. Now, that's great, because it makes the questing experience very quick. There's no hanging around. You haven't got to try and tag it before anybody else does. It's just straightforward. If you've touched it and helped to kill that mob, you get that kill. That's wonderful. But it means you don't have to group up with anybody. If you get a world boss, which is up there, which is you can't kill on your own, you don't need to interact. You don't need to go, hi, does anybody want... Oh, let's move away from this guy. Does anybody want to help me come and kill this guy? Come along, help me out. Let's meet up. Oh, hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, it's been great fun playing with you today. Why don't we kind of hook up again tomorrow? Why don't we start a guild? Like the good old days of the MMOs. There was no need for you to do that. I could play this entire game and not need to talk to anybody at all. What is the point in that? Surely that is the main point in an MMO. If we go down to what an MMO actually means, right? You've got massively, that's big, very big. Multiplayer, that's many people, lots of people. Online, well, that's online, okay, we're there. That massively multiplayer online. I don't feel like I'm in an MMO. I could just as easily be playing Skyrim, although this game is not as good as Skyrim. There was just no point. It's almost like they've created a game and other people are playing in the game with you, but you don't need to actually talk to any of them. You don't need them to be there. There's no point. And when you do actually group up with a player, if I do group up with someone, there are so many problems with it. The PvE grouping system is terrible in this game. Really bad. To the point that the phasing is glitchy. This is why it feels like it's in a beta, because there are so many glitches and bugs. It should be ready by now. If you're sharing a quest, and someone else has already completed it, you can't go and help them do it. Say you've got to kill a mob, and it takes a couple of people to do it, but there's no one in the area, but you've already killed it. You can't see it because it's phased. The other person you're in a group with can see it, but you can't help them kill that mob. You can't see. You just got to hang around and wait for them to kill it, or maybe wait for them to get someone else to help them to kill it, and you can't do anything. You've just got to stand around helping. And sometimes you can be in a group with someone, and you'll both be killing the mob, and the person that you're in a group with won't get the kill. You'll get it, but they won't. And then this weird thing happens because, well, then they still need to kill it, but because you've completed it, you can't see the mob anymore because you're phased out, even though you're in the same group. So then the person you're playing with has to try and kill that mob on its own, or wait for someone else to come and help it. That that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening at launch in an MMO. It just seems ridiculous. It's almost like it's just unfinished, and that I don't think in this day and age should be happening. So, see, now I'm starting to rage. It's coming together. But it makes it very difficult to play together. And surely, in an MMO, that is the one thing you need to get right. It is essential you get that thing right. You could have the best game in the world, but if you're going to make it an MMO, you have to be able to play easily with other people. You have to be able to work with other people, meet new people, not just the people you already know. You need to make it easy for you to play with them as well. But, come on, guys. Seriously, why has this not been sorted out beforehand? On top of that, World PvP. There isn't any. If you like World PvP in this game, it's not there. Yes, there are PvP events. You can go off to the little island and play PvP, these huge 200 people battles, whatever, yada yada. You pick a faction at the beginning, right? You saw that. I showed you the factions. At no point during the game do you see anybody else from another faction. Doesn't happen. So what is the point? Where's the rivalry? What is going on? Oh, hi, dude. You look kind of cool. What is the point in that? You only see them during the PvP battles. You don't see them at any other time. Now, wouldn't it be cool if you could see them? If there's a little bit of rivalry there, if you could insult them or whatever? That's the point in a faction, isn't it? Otherwise, I just don't care. I really do not care about the other factions. And yeah, they might bring it in later, but they should be in now. I should be caring about it at this very point. This is, quite frankly, the most unsocial MMO I have ever played. Ever. Right? On top of that, making money is not easy. It's like, I've got my mount. Lovely. Okay, I got that because I had to pay an extra £20, right, for the collector's edition. So I more or less paid for this mount. The mounts in this game, if you don't pay for the Imperial Edition, is very, very expensive. The money that you get from mobs is very, very low. Like 1 or 2 gold. You can get 2 gold from a boss that you kill. Now that is ridiculous. Or if you add that on top of the fact that there is no global auction house. No global auction house. So there's no way for players to make money other than to go around killing things and gathering things and selling them to vendors. That just seems something that is so simple that you need to have in the game, surely. I mean, am I missing something? I'm not really sure. So if we kind of sum it down to the fact that, yeah, questing experience is fine, and there's nice voice acting, but there's no immersion. I don't care about my character. I never get to meet the other factions unless we're playing PvP, so I just really couldn't care. I don't even know. It didn't even explain to me at the beginning of the game what each faction does. So why am I fighting them? And I know there's lore. People know the lore. Some people do, but there are people that don't. I shouldn't have to go and look on an external website to know why I care about killing someone on another faction. And I never meet the other person anyway, or the other factions running around. So, I really don't care. The grouping experience is rubbish. And I don't get it. It's almost like they just didn't quite put enough effort in. Yeah, they kind of thought, well, that's enough. I can't be bothered to do any more now. We probably need to do a bit more, but can't really be asked. This is coming from a company that makes some of the best single-player games around. Skyrim was an awesome game. The amount of effort that went into that was great, and they haven't quite pulled it off here. It's not like they're the first people to do an MMO. That's what annoys me about it. They had plenty of opportunity to research this genre. They've got plenty of other MMOs to go and have a look at and get the best bits from them. You know, Star Wars The Old Republic was so immersive, the storylines were so superbly written that I cared about my character. I wanted to know what was going to happen. This guy, I just don't care about him. I mean, he looks quite cool. Quite like his haircut. But I don't know anything about him. I don't know where he's come from. I don't know where he's going. I know he was a prisoner and I've let him out. Well, wow, that sounds just like Skyrim. It's the same storyline as Skyrim. You know, World of Warcraft, their community is where they win all the time. It's a 10-year-old game and there are still more people playing that game than any other MMO, and it's a subscription base and people are still playing it because they've got the community element right. They've got the PvP, the PvE, the group system. It all works beautifully, and that game is 10 years old. You know, I just don't understand. They had the ability to look at all the MMOs that are out there, take the best bits and make an amazing game. If you're expecting, let's not forget this is a subscription based MMO. I have to pay. On top of the horrendous amount of money I paid for the game in the first place, the fact that I also have to, I get 30 days free, right, with when I purchased the game, but I'm not allowed to use that 30 days free until I give them some payment details ready for when the subscription starts. I have to subscribe, although I'm not paying, I have to subscribe before I get my 30 days free. So, which means I have to remember to go and cancel it if I don't want to subscribe. That did not make me happy. The other thing that annoyed me, which I have mentioned on the podcast, is the fact that when you buy the Imperial Edition, you're told that any armour that you're wearing, any piece of clothing that you wear, you can look like or change it to look like the Imperial style. That is not true. Some of it you can, some of it you can't, and you won't know until you get your piece of gear, you right click. I don't know if I've got a piece of gear in here to show you. Okay, rawhide guards. If I right click, here you go, I can convert that into Imperial style. It's as easy as that. They've made that very simple. I've paid the Imperial Edition, I'll right click that. If I convert it, then it's sold back, that's fine. Convert it into Imperial gear, that's easy. But I cannot do that with every piece of gear. I can't show you because I haven't got any other pieces of gear in here to show you. But I could have another pair of trousers and it won't let me do that. If I'm paying money for something, I expect to get it. That's what I'm kind of bringing up there. Don't tell me I can do something and then I find out that I can't. That is ridiculous. Anyway, this is turning into more of a rant than a review. Let's just go on about the content itself. There is a wealth of content. The map of the entire area, if you look online, is huge. It would take you hundreds of hours to explore and go through each of the quests. But to be quite frank with you, who cares when the content that you're playing is so painfully boring? Like, seriously. I started off thinking, well, it's alright, it's because I'm a low level, it's fine. But, do you know what, I cannot play for more than an hour at a time because I start getting bored. It's as simple as that. I get really... But don't get me wrong, the game is not terrible, it's just not great. There are no wow moments in it, and I don't mean World of Warcraft, I mean there's no oh wow kind of moments. It just doesn't happen. I haven't got excited about anything in the game yet. Then I just think, God, I can't be asked to do this anymore. What am I doing? I'm going to go and play something else. I'm going to go and play something more fun. I've got plenty of other games in my armoury that I could be playing. And that is the problem this game has come against. I've heard many people say this. There are plenty of other games I would rather be playing than this one. And that shouldn't be happening with an MMO of this calibre. I should be going, no, all I want to do is play this game. It should be taking me away from other games, and it's not. I'm very disappointed. That is what it comes down to. It's got great red hair though, look at that. I am very, very disappointed in this game. It promised so much and it hasn't delivered. And some areas of it are great. It looks great, it sounds great, but it just doesn't do it. As an MMO, it doesn't work. It is very, very average as a game generally. As an MMO, it just doesn't work. And I can't help but feel I have wasted money buying the Imperial Edition of this game, because I don't even think at this point I'm going to bother subscribing. I've had to subscribe to get my 30 days free, but I don't think I'm going to play past 30 days. I want to, because I want to do another review. What I really want to do is get to end level, play end game content, and then do another review, seeing what's that like, because maybe they've put all their effort into end game. Maybe that's what they've done. But then what's the point in that? Because you want people to get there in the first place. Excited about it. So that's it. That is my review of Elder Scrolls Online. It has some positives and many, many, many negatives. I'll leave it with you to decide whether you are going to play and pay for this game. But if you want to play it and you don't want to pay, here is my prediction. I predict that in a year's time, this game will be free to play. It'll go down the route of Star Wars The Old Republic, because I cannot see enough people wanting to pour money into this game. So hang on in there, guys. If you really want to play it, but you don't want to pay for it, just wait a year. They probably would have sorted out all the problems by then anyway, and you won't have to pay. Alright, I'll leave it there. Bye for now. Smiley face with a wink. Draycass signing out.